And my major claim is that unhealthy food commercials have a major influence on adolescent obesity. Whenever a food advertisement is televised during commercials, our appetites are triggered, and we, the audience, are immediately hungry. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, more evidence that exposure to food ads, rather than watching television itself, contributes to obesity comes from a study that tracked the TV viewing habits and change in BMI of 1,100 young children over a 5-year period. The more hours per day of commercial TV children watched at the start of the study, the more likely they were to have a relative increase in body mass index at the study's end. The transmission of junk food and fast food advertisements on commercial television influences children to consume unhealthy meals. Therefore, my major claim is that unhealthy food commercials have a major influence on adolescent obesity. Now, unhealthy meals include fast food restaurants such as McDonald's or Little Caesars, and junk food is considered to be sugared and high-calorie snacks, cereal, or soda. Commercials include television advertisements. Thus, my supporting claims that unhealthy foods have a major influence on adolescent obesity are that unhealthy food commercials encourage adolescents to make unhealthy food choices. Secondly, the constant repetition of unhealthy commercials brainwashes the mentality of adolescents and thus convinces them to consume fast food or junk food. Lastly, commercial television influences adolescents to consume the advertised fast food or junk food ultimately purchased by parents. My first claim states that unhealthy food commercials encourages adolescents to make unhealthy food choices. It is rare to view a commercial that advertises spinach or strawberries. Thus, after watching a fast food or junk food commercial, adolescents prefer the advertised meal rather than healthy meals. According to the researchers of the University of Liverpool, children who watch advertisements for unhealthy food on television are more likely to want to eat high-fat and high-sugared foods. For instance, children from 6 to 13 years of age were shown an episode of a popular cartoon that was preceded by 5-minute commercials. One commercial with toy advertisements and the following with snacks and fast food. After they were given a list of branded and unbranded food items they wanted to eat, the study found that after viewing the commercials, of the 281 children, all the children chose branded and non-branded fat-rich and carbohydrate-rich items from the food preference list, compared to the ones they chose after watching the TV advertisements. As a consequence of preferring unhealthy meals like junk food and fast food, Gary Ruskin from the Public Citizens Commercial Alert states that adolescents are being diagnosed with diseases such as obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and shorter lifespans. Moreover, my second claim is that the constant repetition of unhealthy food commercials brainwashes the mentality of adolescents and hence convinces them to consume fast food and junk food. Due to the naive mentalities of adolescents, unhealthy food commercials easily convince them to consume junk food or fast food that catalyzes their weight. Gary Ruskin from the Public Citizens Commercial Alert conveys that television literally is an obesity machine that has the power to walk through the front door of the home and speak directly to children. Considering the average American child watches 19 hours and 40 minutes of TV per week according to Ruskin, advertisers have the power to manipulate the food choices children make when they are hungry, with the help of TV ads triggering the appetites of children who are watching their television screen. The American Academy of Pediatrics states that on TV, young people watch about 40,000 ads for food per year, especially food like sugared cereals and high-calorie snacks, while healthy foods are advertised less than 3% of the time. In fact, nearly 20% of fast food ads mention a toy premium in their commercials, with the purpose of attracting children. In addition, the Harvard School of Public Health conducted an experiment where children who watch cartoons with food commercials ate 45% more snack food while viewing than children who watch cartoons with non-food advertising, which confirms that junk food and fast food commercials make children hungry, and as a result, the child instantly desires the advertised meal. Furthermore, my final claim conveys that commercial television influences adolescents to consume advertised fast food and junk food ultimately purchased by parents. TV advertisement has influenced adolescents to become obese due to the fact that parents are the purchasers of the unhealthy meals that are advertised on television and demanded by their children. In fact, the dominating power advertising has on children competes with the authority of parents. For example, the Journey of Pediatrics conducted an experiment on 75 children aged 3 to 5. The children watched 2 cartoons with a commercial between each cartoon. Half the children saw a commercial with apple slices, while the other half saw a commercial with French fries. After watching the cartoons, children selected a coupon for one of the ads, with input from parents. Half of the parents remained neutral, and the other half encouraged their children to select apples. Of the children who saw the commercial for French fries, 71% chose the French fry coupons if parents remained neutral, while only 55% chose French fries if parents encouraged them to pick the apples. The children who saw the commercial for apple slices, 46% chose French fry coupon, and if their parents remained neutral, while only 33% chose the French fries if parents encouraged them to pick apples. This experiment confirms that commercial television does have a leading influence on children. Junk food and fast food commercials initiate cravings for adolescents. As a result of satisfying these unhealthy cravings over time, these adolescents are prone to become obese. Therefore, unhealthy food commercials have a major influence on adolescent obesity because they encourage adolescents to make unhealthy food choices. Secondly, food commercials convince adolescents to consume the fast food and junk food by constantly repeating the advertisements until they brainwash their minds. And lastly, commercial television influences adolescents to consume the advertised unhealthy food that is ultimately purchased by parents. Thank you.
All right, I think the opening is a little complicated because you actually sound like you presented your claim twice, and a couple of times it sounds like the preview is started before it actually does. However, once you do identify the claim and specifically state that that is the claim and identify your claims, I think that's reasonably clear. So the biggest problem in organization was just that the opening seems a little awkward. I think you might want to start with the quote, the Harvard research quote, and use that as your attention device, and then identify the proposition and keep it a little bit simpler there. The signposts were all very clear, although I do think that the second point is very convoluted in the way the claim is expressed, so it's a little more complicated, and I think you want simpler phrasing. I thought, however, at the end of the speech you did a really nice job summarizing what the claims were and how they built together to form the argument that you were talking about. You've got a good deal of information in the presentation, and I appreciated that you gave us source citations almost always. I thought it was very consistent in regard to that. Sometimes, though, it did sound like the data is just being presented. It gets a little sing-song, reading, monotonous, and so you want to be careful about that, especially when you step out and tell us what the inference is that you're drawing from that evidence. You need to be a little bit more distinctive in expressing that idea so that it doesn't run together with the evidence, but I thought that you did, like I said, a very good job citing the evidence there. All right, thank you.